round, and I'm really excited about it. One is, I've seen a lot of, and there's another thing where money comes into play, because I've seen a lot of high-profile family law cases and custody cases play out. We've had Usher, who was able to wrest custody away from the mother, Deion Sanders, Dwayne Wade. There have been so many cases where the fathers have been awarded custody of their children. Now, so Don, I'm going to start with you. Following a divorce, is it always in the best interest of the child to be with the mother, you think?
It absolutely isn't, and it is the responsibility of the judge hearing the case to look at those facts very carefully and see who is going to be a good parent. One of the issues that comes up frequently, because divorces are so contentious, is who can maintain a good relationship with for the child with both parents. In other words, who will not disparage the other parent? Who will make sure that Father's Day is honored the same way Mother's Day is honored, that your Jewish traditions are honored the way my Christian traditions are honored? And if a parent is unable to do that, and if a mother is unable to do that, the judge will say, you know what, you're not doing what's best for your child, and they'll award custody to a father in circumstances like that, which is appropriate.
Okay. Tyrone, what do you think?
These are dangerous. Dangerous circumstances. First and foremost, it seems to support your idea about how money shapes the legal system, right? So at least the three examples that you offered, you have very, black men with a great deal of money. The other thing I want to say is, in the field that I study, cultural studies and race, it's interesting that there's a way in which these cases abide by how black women are not adequate mothers, right? And so that concerns me too. And we have a history in this society of kind of the welfare mother image, et cetera, et cetera. That aside, I think the court, I think I'm with Don. The courts should direct their support toward whoever can be the best parent. But it may be that the best parent, the courts lean toward the people who have the most money.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing that a little bit more and more, which is a little bit frightening to me, especially as a mother, because in these particular cases, these men tend to travel a lot, and these women are stay-at-home moms, so it boggles the mind, at least in my mind, why the court would say, well, you're better off being with your father and being raised by nannies, where you could be with your mother and see your father as long as they have visitation and what have you. But like you said, Don, there may be other issues at play that we're not privy to, sort of as the viewing public. So, and the other part of the lightning round discussion is I came across an article. It was a study that was published recently in CNN, and the study said, and it was a study of 70 men, right? And it said that the study found that men with larger testicles tend to not be good nurturing dads. And the conclusion seems to be that because the testicles provide testosterone, that men with higher testosterone levels are out, providing for their family. They're not necessarily reading bedtime stories. Right. Okay? So is it considered unmanly to be a good dad?
Let me address both those questions. First of all, the men that have the free time to make these comparisons with their fellows, friends, aren't spending enough time parenting. Pull up the pants, pick up a book, and read to your child. I don't think there's anything unmanly about being a good father. I think in a society where we look at a divorce rate that is 50%, you better be a good father, because that child relies upon you to learn those things that are specific to a male. There are male role modeling that takes place in the family that a male child learns from a father and a female child learns from a father, and you have a responsibility when you have a child to demonstrate to your child what is proper behavior for a male in society.
Absolutely. Tyrone, what do you think?
Whoa.
Is it unmanly to be a good dad, to be a nurturing dad?
Well, absolutely not. I mean, I think that's ridiculous. And again, I try not to gender it. I try to focus on who can be the best parent, and in whatever way they can be the best parent, that's fine. And so it's not unmanly or unwomanly. But I don't want to. I worry about focusing so much on gender roles in the family, or focusing on the family in a very traditional sense. I mean, we have to think about the fact that 2 of our last Democratic presidents come from broken homes. And so what I wish for American society is to be more creative about what constitutes a family and what roles people can take in order to raise great children.
Well, for me, I have to tell you that watching my husband with my son always makes me love him more. You know, and he says too. I mean, we grew up in families where it was very traditional, where my father never did any of the nurturing, no bedtime stories, no tucking in, none of that stuff. He was just there to provide, and you know, you would see him when you saw him. And the same thing for his father. And even he says sometimes he has to remind himself to be a nurturer, you know, to you know, go tuck my son into bed, or to read him a story, or to sit with him and say what's bothering you today. So he, you know, he says it's all about mimicking what you were taught. So I think it's less about the size of your balls and more about, you know, where it is that you're going in terms of your brain and what it is that you want and want to value.
And I would say, you know, I think we'd be a better society if men were more nurturing. I think part of the problem is that men do a lot of role modeling of hyper testosterone laden behavior, and not enough hugging, not enough caretaking, and that could be part of our problem.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you again, gentlemen, for being here with me today. And you know, we're wishing that Adeline gets better soon. And you know, we thank you all for watching The Opinion. And please keep sending us your emails. Keep watching us on YouTube. You know, going on theopiniontalkshow.com. We love to hear from you. Thank you for watching.